Hey, New Life Church, it's Pastor Brent. I'm here with Judah.
Hi!
We are out in our backyard. Thanks, Judah. We just started a garden this last year, this is our first real garden. To call myself an amateur gardener would be incredibly generous. But we planted several different herbs, and we planted strawberries and some different things, and we'll see how it goes this year. And I'm sure on this video and on this post, I'm going to get lots of gardening advice, which I will just tell you is very welcome. I definitely welcome your gardening advice. But I just wanted to share a few thoughts on gardening and what Jesus says, actually. Because I was looking at these strawberry plants, and those buds are starting to develop in the center, little tiny starts of strawberries, and I'm very excited about that. But somebody told me a while back that actually I'm supposed to take these first year strawberry plants and take the buds right off of those strawberry plants and not let them develop into the fruit yet, and to wait a year. And it's a bummer because I wanted to eat strawberries this year out of my garden. But the reason behind that is taking the fruit that would be produced this year from the strawberry allows that plant to develop its infrastructure, to put deeper roots down, to grow its leaves and in its ability to produce better fruit in years to come. And so in the pruning back of our little strawberry plants, we are actually getting the opportunity to have better fruit and a better harvest in years to come. And it reminds me of what Jesus said in John chapter 15, verses 1 through 2. Jesus says that I am the true grapevine, and my Father is the gardener, and he cuts off every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit. And he prunes the branches that do bear fruit, so that they produce even more fruit. And so when we look at our lives, and we feel like, man, there are seasons, we've heard this phrase, seasons of the soul, and we feel like, man, there are seasons of my soul where I feel like I'm producing so much. And you know, when I think of the phrase seasons of the soul, I think of like the four seasons we have, right? We've got spring, summer, winter, and fall and winter. But think of it in the terms of how in Jesus' time they viewed the seasons. They were an agricultural community, and Jesus used agriculture so often in his sermons and in his messages. Is they were people of the land, and so they had a rainy season, they had a dry season, and as we see in scripture, there's a time to sow and a time to reap. And so when they saw seasons of the soul, they didn't see it so much as just the predictable, necessarily cold times of the darkness of the heart, or the times where the sun is shining and it's beautiful and it's really predictable, but rather there's times and there's moments that we take advantage of. When the rains come, when the sun is shining, we take advantage of those particular moments. And so when we look at these different seasons of the soul, you might be going through a time right now where you say, there is so much in my life that is being produced, and it's just, I see God coming through in ways that I've never seen before. It's so rich and bountiful. And you might be saying, you know what? I'm not seeing much in my life that is developing at all. I don't see the things produced in my life that I would want or expect. But can I just tell you that there are times where we feel those things being cut back, and perhaps it's for a purpose. Perhaps the master gardener is pruning back some of the things that are good, but for something better in the future. Perhaps you're going through a time in your life where there's suffering, where there's difficulty. In Romans 5, Paul tells the church that he says we glory in our sufferings, not because that we know that suffering is fun necessarily, but that suffering produces something. It produces perseverance in our life. And so whatever season of the soul you're in, wherever you're walking, whatever you're going through right now, remember that the gardener is at work. Nothing is just a mistake or an error on God's part, but that he is working in your life as a master gardener to produce fruit in your life that perhaps you don't even expect or can predict. Let's trust him today together. God bless you, New Life.